Hello everybody, this is Doug at Jammin J Auto and Tire in St. Louis, Missouri. And what you're looking at is our alignment machine up with some specs on it. And we're going to talk about alignments here today. So we're going to talk about three angles on the vehicles. One is called caster, camber, and toe. And I'm already looking at this. This customer installed their own rack and pinion, and well, we've got a problem. Our toe is way out. I got a feeling they didn't have that rack in there straight. However, what we're going to do is we're going to swing back here and show you a little bit. This is our alignment machine. There's much more fancy ones out there. This one requires you actually to understand what caster, camber, toe is. Some of the other ones actually do a lot of that for you. But what we do is we have, this one's actually a Bluetooth, picks up on Bluetooth, and what we have on each wheel, and I want you to see this, is an alignment head. And what this thing is basically done is it's drawn an electronic rectangle around this car. There's a camera right up here that's going back to the back sensor, and then a camera that goes from the front right here, and it shoots across the other one. So what we've done is we've drawn a nice big rectangle by 4 sensors around the vehicle, and now we're going to adjust this accordingly. Now when I come up in the first angle, we're going to talk about, it's called toe. And I'm going to show you right here. This is actually a brand new rack and pinion and brand new control arms. And this rack and pinion is actually what steers the car down the road. And this is what we're going to use to adjust the toe. So toe is if you look down at your feet and toe them in or toe them out. That's what we're looking at here. And the way that we adjust toe is, this is an outer tie rod. If you notice, there's a jam nut and some threads. We can lengthen or shorten this tie rod. And by doing that, it's actually going to either pigeon toe in the tires or pigeon toe them out. The second angle we're going to talk about is camber. Can't show you a whole lot except for, if you look up in here, what you're seeing up in there is a strut. It's this long thing with the cartridge right there and the spring around it up the top. That strut, when they put this car in, the camber is actually set from the factory. You can't do anything about it. But camber, to understand what it is, it's the tilting of the top of the tire in or out. Now in a lot of these cars, and this is one of them, we can actually adjust camber a little bit by what we have is called the camber bolt. I have one laid out right here. This is a special bolt. You know, it has a little hump on it and a special little washer. We can take out one of these two, get a line out here for you, one of these, the top bolt right there, and we can replace it with that bolt, and that will give us a little bit of camber adjustment, which this car probably is not going to need a camber bolt from what I can tell. And then the last angle is a caster, and caster once again is built into the geometry of this strut, and it's not adjustable on this car. Back in the older days, maybe still on some of the new ones, we can actually wallow out some holes and do some things to adjust caster. But caster is basically, and it's a difficult one for most people to understand, a lot of technicians don't even understand, but this is the lower control arm and ball joint, and this wheel will rotate on that ball joint, and it's the angle of the rotation. So is this ball joint straight up and down with this top turning point, or is it kicked backwards or forwards? It's basically the turning angle. Basically to show you the difference between caster would be if you're riding a tricycle. The wheel is right straight underneath you, as opposed to like a motorcycle with a long fork on it. That's the difference between caster, the angle of the steering angle, if that makes sense. So anyway, that's what we do when we do an alignment. We pull these in, put the heads on it, and adjust the suspension the best that we can.